Sydney Mikayla. Would you say it was difficult to get into doing voiceover work?
Voiceover really does require more focus than you think it would. And I think for a kid, I was kind of like, what is going on? Because it's not as many things happening. You're really just talking to a mic. Sometimes you're really by yourself in this booth. At first, I was really just trying to find my footing with it. But I think as I got older, I really used it as a way to utilize like character work and like be able to play people I couldn't normally play on screen. Hey, my name is Sydney Mikayla. You may know me from shows like Kipo on the Age of Wonderbeasts, Transformers Earthspark, Invincible Fight Girl, and my new movie out on Amazon Prime called Crybaby Bridge. Thanks for watching.
Sydney, thank you so much for joining us today and welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So you have accomplished quite a lot for someone your age. You're a 2 Daytime Emmy nominated actor, voice actor, recent producer, as well as a dancer. When did you realize that you had all of these skills, and how exactly did you go about pursuing them?
Oh, that's a good question. My mom is an actress, so she put me into acting, and I think it's just something I gravitated towards. You know, being out in front of people came really naturally, and I think it's so funny talking to other people, and they're like, oh my God, you want to say that in public, or you're not afraid to like woo or, you know, act a certain way. I'm like, not really, and that kind of, I think, shows as well. Like, I had a natural inclination to loving to, you know, do things live or on screen, you know, and I don't really have a fear of like other people seeing me put on a character and, you know, become someone else, which is really fun. As for the other skills, I will just say, honestly, I'm very blessed to have, you know, parents that supported my dreams and my goals. I think I also had a natural inclination for anything like artistic, especially performing arts-wise, but you know, when it comes to those other things, especially like dance, it is really just a lot of training and repetition. So yeah, just very blessed that I was able to be in spaces that I got to practice that repetition, that I got to have that training, because, you know, it is definitely like more physical than anything. It's literally like playing a sport. So it's just like you got to train for it and do it. And really same thing with like singing too. It's a lot more training than people think. It's a lot more training and repetition than it is just like go for it and do it, you know what I mean? But I would say that, you know, just being blessed to be able to have some amazing teachers and mentors along the way, and then also just you know, family that really supported my gravitation towards this crazy and amazing career path.
Yeah, because you've done quite a bit of training, like especially at Amazing Grace Conservatory, as well as at the Debbie Allen Academy of Dance, and you also were a co-founder of a dance team at UCLA. Yes. As well.
I was, yes, the Brunettes at UCLA. I love them so much, and they're killing it as always. But yeah, I mean, being part of both AGC and getting to do Debbie Allen's Hot Chocolate Nutcracker were really formative experiences for me. You know, getting to train under women like Miss Wendy Raquel Robinson, Miss Debbie Allen, I mean, just an honor and a blessing. So I am so grateful for those experiences, and I think they definitely contribute to the person that I am today.
Yeah. And so you started out with supporting roles when you began acting in live action. And how long, roughly, did it take for you to go from live acting and do some voice acting? So
I started live to Christy Reed, who's an amazing voiceover director, and she's just like queen. Like she saw me, and I guess I did something well there, because literally everything from that point kind of just either relates back to Miss Christie, who's amazing, or to Cartoon Network in some way. And then like either I met people or I saw, but like it's all just like every voiceover job that I've had, I've been able to like connect back to that like few lines on We Bare Bears on Cartoon Network. So it's crazy to think about. But yeah, I've been doing voiceover a little bit of time.
Yeah, and then working on We Bare Bears, because there are tons of other voice actors, but one recent conversation I had was with Zeno Robinson, an anime dubbing artist. His big start in voiceover was with Alan in Ben 10. So realistically, like working on like cartoon shows and things like that, would you say that was like an easier start, or would you say it was just as like, was it still somewhat difficult to get into doing voiceover work?
You know what I will say, actually? Voiceover really does require more focus than you think it would. And I think for a kid, I was kind of like, what is going on? Because it's not as many things happening. You're really just talking to a mic. Sometimes you're really by yourself in this booth. So I think, at first I was really just trying to find my footing with it. But I think as I got older, I really used it as a way to, utilize like character work and like be able to play people I couldn't normally play on screen. So I think that is really what's fun. It's like you can kind of do anything with animation specifically. So that's kind of where I'm like, okay, let's do it. Also, shout out to Zeno, who's freaking amazing. My screen is like blurred, but he's actually on my Transformers like poster. We just had a rap party.
Oh.
So yeah, Zeno is literally awesome, and yeah, such great energy working with him as well. But yeah, it's been a amazing journey, a lot of patience, but yeah, I would say that was like maybe the most difficult part as a kid, trying to like stay focused, stay in it, because it's still a form of acting and you want to have that discipline.
Of course. And like one thing that really shows up on your resume when you look up Sydney Mikayla is your 2-time Daytime Emmy nominations as Trina Robinson in General Hospital, the fantastic and long-running soap opera.
Yeah.
Realistically, because that's a medium that is known for its high-stakes, rapid-fire, emotional beats. So when you basically take that skill set that's required for a soap opera and then you kind of take it to behind a mic to do some form of voiceover work, it could be Kipo, Age of the Wonderbeasts. How did you feel with translating that intense soap opera emotionality into a performance that really restricts you and you can't really use your eyes or facial expressions to communicate?
Sure. I mean, I've always thought that, voiceover acting is really theatrical, so I think it can kind of relate to soaps in that way. Soaps can feel a little bit like theater as well. You get one time to rehearse, one time to go, and record it live, kind of like a show. So it was really good practice, but it was really great. I think, Kipo especially, Wolf really went on an emotional journey and arc in there, so I remember definitely having to work at that as well and like really make sure Wolf got where she needed to be when she did have that like emotional break she has like later in scenes if you guys watch the show. But it's so like fun to do and explore, and like I said, it's like a new challenge in the best way. So definitely gratifying.
Yeah. And is there like some kind of, when you're just starting off with a character, is there something physical that you might do in the booth to basically help you find the voice of that character when there's not really like any visual reference for it, like in live acting?
Yes, that's a great question. I feel like people are surprised, and I get the opposite question always, like, oh, are you just showing up in sweats? And I'm actually like, no. Depending on what the character is, I try to utilize something to make me feel that way. So, for example, when I played Phoebe in Dewdrop Diaries, that's like a kind of a show for younger kids, but I was playing a fairy. So I wasn't gonna come in like my normal sweats and like a t-shirt. I was trying to come in something that made me feel lighter, made me feel airy, because she was a can-do fairy. So like, kind of that, what does that feel like? And then opposite, I played Robbie in Transformers Earthspark, who, he's a dude from Philly. So like, what does that feel like? So I remember we were recording that during COVID. So in my little hot closet, I was always wearing Timbs. So I was like, okay, I'm a teenage boy now, so I'm a little bit heavier. I want to become a man. So like, what does that feel like? And then how that feels will, kind of indicate where the sound is going to go. So yeah. I think that's fun. You don't have to do a full dress. I'm not doing full fairy makeup and all of that. But I think honestly, it's in the shoes too. Funny enough, I think it's in the shoes. I think that's the best way to, if I tell anyone to change anything, it's in the shoes.
I know, I figured, because like so many voice actors are based in LA, and I can imagine that, especially in the summer, going into your closet is not the best suited environment, especially when it comes to just sweat and heat. It must be ridiculous.
It was hot, but it was I'm so grateful to have acted during COVID. What a time to like go crazy. And I was doing General Hospital and Transformers Earthspark at the time. And just like, yeah, really great way to like channel my energy to do something, because it was just like everything else was going crazy. My graduation was not even like happening I didn't have a prom. Yeah, I'm one of class of 2020, 2021 lamenting. But yeah, so I was really lucky to have acting to like have that, you know, place to put all my energy.
Yeah, like up until COVID, like how did you find balancing like a school life as well as acting?
It's definitely more possible with voiceover. Obviously with, you know, film and TV, it's going to take all day. They've got to get a shot up. They've got to make sure the wardrobe's right. All of these things. So, you know, General Hospital was so kind in allowing me to leave the show when I got to college, because I was like, this is really crazy to balance, you know, literally driving from campus, leaving campus at like 6 a.m., doing GH all day, and then coming back, maybe figuring out what I missed. And like, you know, I was just two places at once, and it really wasn't possible to, I feel like, have the fullest experience in either. So they really understood my decision. I appreciated. But one thing that I was so grateful for is voiceover was something I continued to do throughout my college career. And it was just so kind of possible. Like if I could just stack my classes, I could maybe get, you know, a 4-hour session done on like a Friday. And then that covers like a few episodes. So very, very like just grateful to be able to have that like flexibility and just for everyone to be able to work with me. I know Transformers Earthspark took like place mainly during college, and same thing with Invincible Fight Girl as well.
Yeah, and because you also, so stepping up, you've also stepped into the producer role in your movie Crybaby
Yes.
Bridge, which you're also the lead in. Has seeing the gears of production kind of changed how you approach a script, either live action or voiceover?
I mean, yes, it's actually funny whenever I'm on a project, I'll actually ask like, hey, it's okay if I don't have a title, but can I just see like, how are you guys getting this on its feet? Every pre-production to production is different, and I just love to see it. So, you know, I'm also, you know, grateful to all the productions that allowed me to have that opportunity to, you know, do that and to figure that out. But I would say I love being in a producer role and also being able to act. I think it gives autonomy over the character. You know, I'm not executive producing on some of the projects that I'm on yet. You know, hopefully that's the next place I want to be, but still being a producer just means you get to be in the room where it happens and where the decisions are made, and that's exactly where I want to be. So I'm really grateful and honored to be able to do that. And yeah, I hope more of that will be coming.
Yeah, so do I. And also because like there was a conversation you had recently where you were talking about your experience because Hoppers recently came out, and something that was on your IMDb was additional roles. And I was like,
don't know
what?
if I'm in Hoppers. I need to, oh my God, my friends are telling me this too.
I wanted to ask if there was any update since that conversation, if you had heard anything.
I clearly did not check. I have no idea. And I guess this is my previous reaction as well. I should check on that. I don't remember recording for Hoppers. I would love to know if I was in a new Pixar. I think it's Pixar. I would love to know if I'm in Hoppers. Yeah, and it's still on my IMDb.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna check on that.
Are you able to edit that at all?
I've never touched my IMDb except like the photos. So I guess you actually can edit it. So I guess that's true. Yeah, I need to check in on that. Maybe secretly I'm not fighting the false propaganda if it's false. Like maybe that's really what's happened. I don't fully hate it because I liked Hoppers. It was good. It took me on a ride. But at the same time, I think I need to talk to someone.
Like, yeah, you could talk to someone and they could just say, "Oh yeah, we use like 2 words from a read you did," and then you could just basically say, "Yeah, I wasn't Hoppers," and then you could just cut the conversation there. Boom,
yeah,
right there.
I 100% need to check in on that. Thank you for reminding me.
Of course.
Will be said today.
Oh man, now with more. Back to voiceover as well. Do you find yourself looking at character descriptions with more of a storytelling eye or an actor's eye now that you also have producer experience?
That's a good question. I think it was actually Coleman Domingo I was watching, who I really revere as an actor, was saying like, you know, he started stepping into other roles as well and did some project where he was like, oh, I direct now, so I understand this. And the director's like, whoa, I just need you to be an actor. And I try to remember that, you know, Miss Wendy at Amazing Grace Conservatory, had us always say a Shakespearean quote called, "To thine own self be true." And how I take that or interpret it is like kind of, stay in your lane. And that's the beauty of being able to be a producer, because it's like, now I have two lanes. Like, now it is, but sometimes you're just gonna be an actor, and that's totally okay. But if I'm just being hired to be an actor, I want to be the best at the job that I'm being hired to do. Because it is a job. It's a dream job. It's an amazing job, but it's a job. And so for me, it's, absolutely. Looking as an actor, how can I interpret this? What are they asking for? And then hopefully if there's a callback, making sure like, hey, fun tip, make sure your callbacks are recorded. Make sure you're sending it right after to show, hey, I'm going to be easy to work with. Like if we have to work from home, I'm gonna have the materials also on my end recorded. And then if you book it being malleable, like, I always bring a pencil into the sessions to show that, I'm really taking notes. And I actually got that from Karen when we did Kipo in the Age of Wonderbeasts, who always had a pencil with her. So I was watching when I was like 12, 13, like, okay, this is what the pros are doing. I'm gonna do this. So, being the best actor I can be. And, again, I'm working and being in a space where I'm also on other indie productions and films and my own projects, which we might get to, producing and executive producing on my end, so I can see how it works. So when it does get to a point where I'm playing those big roles, I hope to also be, EPing, like that is the dream. But, I'm just gonna be the best in whatever capacity I'm hired in, and I'm gonna give that 110%, so.
Oh yeah. What kind of projects are you hoping to work on, like, as your career evolves, or what are you looking for, like, right now, roughly?
Well, we'll start with voiceover since we're here. I would say Pixar, but I guess I already did that. No, but I would love a Pixar film. I feel like I kind of hit a lot of the networks, so I think a Pixar. Would also love to, be able to be in another show of my own, or I would love to do a movie. I think I would love to do an animated movie as well. And I'd be open to something with mocap as well. I'm very aware of my body, and I already do voiceover, so I'd love to step into a really, really cool mocap though, an Avatar-esque, something that is woo, this is a game changer for sure. So that would be the dream. And then as for live action, I would love to do something comedic. I think people don't get to see as much of my comedic side, so I'm hoping for that. And then I'm also looking forward to people seeing my directorial debut called Exposure, a short that I just directed and wrote and produced and all the things. So I'm excited for people to see that as well. But just really, sky's the limit. I'm excited to work on anything that grows me as an artist, that pushes the expectation of what we think is possible. And I hope to continue to follow the trailblazers that have been ahead of me and continue to blaze a path behind me, and create more representation on screen. So all the things.
Oh God, yeah, perfect. Because this will be coming out in roughly June. So is there anything coming out roughly then? Do you have anything that you're working on that eventually people are going to come out and see? Right
now, a lot of hush stuff, which is good. So that's great. But I would just say right now people can be on the lookout for my short Exposure that I'm directing and producing and all the things. And I would just say to follow me on socials at official Sydney Mikayla on Instagram. And I'll keep people updated too, because listen, things are happening, and when I'm told I can say something, the something will be said.
Oh gosh, you actors, you always do that. You give me a little breadcrumb, and it's
yes!
I want more, but I can never get it until it's too late, until it's all out there, and then everyone.
No. Listen, sometimes the NDA is so good I don't even know I'm in it. Again, like Hoppers. Yep. I really need to check on that.
Exactly.
I don't remember getting a script. I don't remember going into a studio. Nothing, but it might have happened, and I was asleep.
Sydney, I think it's time to ask you some quick fire questions here now.
Okay.
What is a line that you have recorded that is still in your head?
Autobots roll out.
That would be basically anyone's favorite line to record, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy, and my friends say it to me often, so it's the first one that comes up in my head.
Can you sum up your voice acting career in one word?
Exploratory.
3. What is the weirdest thing you've done physically to get a voice right?
In Invincible Fight Girl, Andy is just like yelling all the time. So I couldn't keep yelling. I had to start planting my feet and digging from like the pits of my stomach to really get those like screams. She's screaming, she's like going into battle mode like 90% of the show. So that is the hard, like I was like planting myself and like fully, like I was wrestling in that booth, man. I would come out sweating. So I would say that was intense. That was intense.
No, it sounds intense especially. Is there a specific project or franchise you are keen to work on?
I am so grateful, first of all, for all the franchises I've been a part of. If there could be any more, I just want to do something, I don't know, really girly and fun. I think I had fun with Dewdrops in that way. So like maybe more like, I don't know, like if they did like a Tinkerbell spinoff or something. I had fun like doing the fairy like thing. That was really fun to just like fairy princess, that type of, because I play a lot of like characters that are fighting for their lives, and I love that for them. But yeah, sometimes I just want to be a girl. So even though I am, yeah, be a very girly girl, I should say. Like they're amazing too. They're amazing women. But yeah, I want to be a girly girl in a different way. So yeah, I think I'd be willing to try that. But again, I'm so grateful for all the roles that I've been able to play. And if it comes down to it, if it's more fighting, then it's more fighting. I'm ready.
Oh, yeah, because there could always be like a live action role or live acting role that could require voiceover or vice versa. Oh. Yeah. All right, final question. What has been your favorite vocal performance that you have heard?
I want to say something Cree Summers. I'll just say anything Cree Summers. I love her. I love her whole like trajectory of career. So yeah, just a big fan, and I hope to work with her someday.
Oh, fantastic. All right, Sydney, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. I really appreciate it, and you gave such insightful answers, and you're very lively, and I really hope for the best for the rest of your career going forward.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Behind the Mic. If you enjoyed the conversation and you want to hear more from the voices behind your favorite characters, then be sure to follow us on Spotify and subscribe to us on YouTube. And don't forget to check out our other interviews as well as voiceover tips and industry news at Voquent.com or on our social media. See you next time.